Well, I haven't done an aquaponics video for a while, but it so happens I'm not just doing an aquaponics video for the sake of it. I've had a pump die, which means I've got to swap over pumps, so that's what we'll be doing today. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. Just to remind people who aren't familiar with my aquaponics, I've got two grow beds. That's one there. It runs on its own separate pump, and you can see that's where the water comes in there. And up the other end is where it comes out. And then there's a standpipe which is buried by all that greenery under there that allows it to drain back in the system. I've also got this little constant flow bed, which has its own pump down that at the opposite end, and the water just runs down the beds and drops out the other end. Well, this is the pump that's died, so it's the one that needs the smallest pump. So I'm going to put the one from up this end down there. That should get that going. And most aquaponics people, myself included, keep a spare pump, which I'll give you a look at there. This is one I got cheap at Aldi. It was on sale. It was less than $100, which is pretty good given that it's a fairly big pump. The only issue I have is, will my fittings fit it? And it actually doesn't live in the water, it lives outside the water, which I think might be okay, because this little potting bench here on the other side of the grow bed, I should be able to put it there and should still be able to get the pipes flowing where I want them to flow, but we'll have to see. Alrighty, dead pump. There's the new one. A bit of a size difference there, Andy. So the pump's now in there. I have checked the jets. The easiest way for me to show you is like that, and there we go. I installed that originally if I wanted to get a lot of water out of the tank for some reason. I've also found that I can use it just to keep things clean. All the dirty water tends to stick down that end, so when I open it up, I lose the dirty water pretty quick. Alright, so those top beds are now running again. You can probably see the dead stuff down the end there. That's what triggered me to the fact that I had a pump problem. Now comes the tricky bit where we have to work out how the hell we're going to attach that pipe to the new pump. I did have to go off and get some parts from the hardware shop. I'll show you where they go, it's too hard to explain it all. I bought a filter end as well, which is what this is designed to do. So that'll form the end that goes in the tank, and I'll join a piece of 19mm poly pipe, or 3/4 inch, that will go onto the pump. Alrighty, let's have a look. So, for those who know me well, I had to read the bloody manual. Most people know I never read the manual. Well, blimey, I had to read the manual, and I can tell you I'm going to have to look at it a few more times, because it's a little bit trickier than I thought, this pump. Alright, let's go and try and hook it up. So that fitting there takes 19mm poly pipe, which should be that fella there. I scavenged off the ground, because I do keep bits of poly pipe with joiners for exactly this reason. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I bought this connector here, which will plug straight into my existing hose one, and then allow the piece of poly pipe to go in the middle, and that hopefully will work, although that actually looks like it's a 25mm rather than a bloody 19mm, which is going to be a problem. So that's the arrangement I ended up coming up with. That's actually a 20mm piece of plastic pipe that I've used to arrange adapters, so eventually I can just plug this in. Voila. So that's the out of the pump. We just need to get a piece of hose to run to the filter adapter, and we should be right. That'll be our inlet. See, I had that lying around here, so I've just put that on. That gives me a hose end, which will click onto that hose end there. So again, we'll use another one of these pieces of hose, which I usually, as it so happens, have laying around. Alrighty, looks like we're getting in business here, folks. You can see that's been tightened with a wrench. There's the wrench down there. This one's been tightened with a wrench. This one is tightened with this bizarre tool that they actually give you that comes with it. We should be good to go. I'm a bit nervous to turn this on. Might check the instruction book again. Right, it's going. It's certainly noisy, as you can hear, which is a bit of a bother. What I ended up doing was plugging the hose tap in from the real hose, which is connected to the tap, and running it for a little minute like that, and that seemed to successfully prime it to the stage where it was happy to work. So that's good. I suspect now it's primed, it won't be an issue. She's still sucking a little bit of air. The other thing I had to do, believe it or not, was the bloody filter pad kept floating to the top. Well, of course, then you're only sucking air, not water. So I had to zip tie that to a rock so it sits on the bottom of the bloody tank. There's only one small issue aside from the noise. It certainly pumps fast and it's actually spilling over. So what I'm going to have to do is reduce the size of that pipe so it's a bit further back. Hopefully the flood and drain will cut in because it's certainly filling fast. Well, I've come to the conclusion, after all that dicking about, that pump's not suitable. It's just too noisy. My son's bedroom is right there, and there's no way he's going to be able to sleep with this bloody thing running. So that's a bit of a bugger, but it is what it is. I guess I'll keep it for the water tanks if that pump buggers up. So I'll go back tomorrow and I'll get one of the standard little pumps that I've used for years now. I only really bought this pump just on a hunch because it was real cheap, and I thought, oh well, I'll give it a go. It's supposed to put out a lot more water. Well, it does do that, but it's just too loud. Later, there's the answer. Nice quiet little submersible pump. Just sits in the tank. I just reused exactly the same poly pipe attachment arrangement that I already had on the old one. Screwed straight in. It'll be plugged in, ready to go in about 2 seconds flat. And if I had done this in the first place instead of trying to use that stupid big pump, the world would have been a better place. And there it is working, no splashing, no horrible messes, no nothing. Took me all of 2 minutes. It's done. Alright, well there's another debacle unfolded on the tiny farm. You have a good one. See ya.